I'm like, my chair is moving by itself. People are already saying it's buggy and laggy. LOL. Fun, 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 fun. I want to chip before I begin, please. Just one. Hello? Girl. Hello? My controller's not charged, apparently. So we wait in this load screen. Let's play it in Mandarin. Okay. Why did it connect for like 2.5 seconds and now it's not? Also, if it's plugged in, why can't I use it? Can you not use the Pro Controller for this game? Like, actually? There's no way. Why the fuck is it not working? Off to a great start. It like doesn't detect it when the game launches. What? We got it. Okay, janky audio. Hold on. I'm gonna do 500 things to make this thing work. Oh, work. Oh, wow. Oh, a nice bob. Okay, ponytail. Wait, the space buttons are so cute. Wait, why are there so many color hairs? I'm gagged. Oh, they gagged me. Wait, I kind of want it to look like me then, if we're doing it that way. Is there like a red? There's no ginger, lol. There's Madicals. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I hope they keep this for the next one they do. Oh, wow. There's so many. What? I guess I gotta change myself to the other side of the screen. We literally just started, Maddie. I don't know if you could tell, but we're still in the character creator. Oh, you can put a lash on? Okay, lashes. They got bottom lashes too? Oh my god, they went all out. Wait, what the hell? They gagged the fuck out of me. I actually like the lashes in the corners. They're pretty. There's a kitty face mouth! Ah! I love it. When are y'all? Oh my, I was literally about to say, when are y'all gonna fucking add freckles? Period. Oops. There's no like actual red hair like my red hair, so I'm gonna do blonde. my character's eyes okay? Slay. I'm fucking these chips up. I haven't been able to eat in like a couple days because my stomach's been fucked up. Oh my god, the music's doubling. Get out of here. Freak. No popcorn. Look at the baby. So cute. Who's this old fart? No. My chips. Oh, wow. So pretty. I literally said boo boo keys earlier, you freak. I want to go to there. Who up playing with they boo boo keys? I'm playing with my booby keys. Oh, I get up. Oh, good morning. Waking up while the sun is shining, something I would never do. Jesus. I had like 5 chips and I hiccup. Girl, get up. Oh, cute. Little plushie in the corner of the room. A little soft. This is not a queen size mattress. I'm gonna need someone to come adjust this for me. Oh, the Nintendo Switch over here. This closet area. The Hot Bip little thing. They know me so well. I would have that. Not loving this hair as much as I thought I would, so I might change it. I wish I had pigtails. I wonder if you could unlock hairstyles. Maybe. This is a nice fucking house. This is not my house. My mom has a Karen bob. It's your first day of new school after all. I'm excited for you. Ding dong. Oh, is Bailey from WWE at the door? I don't know where the front door is. Oh. You are Miss Nemesis, yes? Who is this geezer? Sorry. Yeah, just walking into my home. Would you like a nice cup of tea? Yeah, that's Mrs. Nemesis. I am a married woman. Excuse your mouth. I hate this squirrel in our home, Mom. Can you get the squirrel out of our house? Like, why is there a squirrel in the home? Do you want me to sit down? Is that what it is? Oh. Yeah, let me get my sun hat. Oh, I'm ready to get my bag. Damn right I am. Secure the bag. Oh wait, so cute. I should have read that, but it's okay. Let's save. Yes, I would like to save my adventure so far. It's true. All ready for your first day. Did you know there's a picture of me ready for my first day of school and I was wearing an Invader Zim shirt? Ready for my first day. Girl from Invader Zim, like that MySpace era, like literally like I had a stranglehold of my life. Like I had the Invader Zim like glasses, the fingerless gloves, the necklaces, those slap bracelets. Like I had it all. I had it all, girl. I was a stan. Right on my doorstep? I already know Marshall picked the cat. I already know he did. I literally know he did. The weed cat, aka Monty. They're all really cute. They're really good starters. I think they're cuter in game than their original art when we saw them get revealed. Not an easy task. No, not at all, mother. Come to Mother Dust. My mom in this game is literally Chad Michaels. Like, you cannot tell me that's not Chad Michaels. Come to Mother Dust, come. Just giving me a phone. Was that expensive? Did you get a plan? Wait, that's so cute. They're just running around. Hey shotties. Wait, look at Quaxley just walk. Why is he stuck over here? Bro has no idea what he's doing. Look, he's so high. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's so cute. This is really pretty. This like house on the hill. I love all the flowers and the foliage, the foliage. It's very pretty. Listen, I know it's gonna have performance issues. You don't even have to tell me. I already know. I've seen it. I'm just basking in it. What's Quaxley doing? Where are you going? True. Where did the weed cat go? Wait a second. We lost one. Where did it go? Like, actually, I'm scared. We lost one. I'm going back for her. Coming back to you. Back. Oh, there you are, Queen. Okay, let's all make it through the gate this time. Okay, we're good. Here we go. Miss Ma'am! Miss Kitty Cat, over here! I'm not leaving one behind. I'm taking all three. I'm starting with all three. IDGAF. They're all my babies. Fuck y'all. Who's living in the mansion down from my house? Who's trying to flex on me and my mom? Is this the professor? Be serious. Uh-oh. Quaxley! Stop it! Oh, they're so cute. Oh. Well, let's not do that near the house. Let's not commit arson. Are you these three's trainers? Sure am. They're all mine. You don't get one. You don't get one. No, fuck you. Of course you have green tips and pronouns. Not eating that. Quaxley said, where is the class? Quaxley's cute as fuck, though. I thought he was the ugliest of the three, but he's really cute. They're really good starters. I don't think there's a bad one. I think they're all really good. It's Mrs. Nemesis to you. Can you please? Oh, we just moved in? Wait, my name's Nemesis and her is Pneumonia? Oh, it's Her name's literally pneumonia, like the disease. Okay, maybe get your own fucking name. She wants to be me so bad. Blah. I already don't like her. Pneumonia. Yes. 3 queens stand before me, but I only have 1 photo in my hands. And for the 2 that I do not pick, please go back to the top model house and gather your things and walk out the front door. I'm mixing like 5 different reality shows right now. I mixed Big Brother, Drag Race, and fucking Top Model. The queen I'm choosing tonight to stay is... you. Yes. Yes. Me and my bazongas. What do you mean I can't believe you just chose? You actually did. Shady boots. What do you mean? Oh, she's shady. Oh, I don't like her. Don't let her choose. Give them all to me. No, I don't trust her. Don't give her the cat. Please don't give her the cat. She's not gonna take care of it. She's not. No, she's not gonna take care of it. Don't. She's not gonna take care of it. She's gonna be like my old roommate that doesn't take care of her cat. Ava, her name's Pneumonia. Like, she literally just kidnapped the cat. Like, what is her issue? Is this the first, like... Have we only had men as our rivals? Is this our first, like, woman as our rival in a Pokemon game? Who was? Oh, wait, is it Bianca, whatever her name is? No one likes a shady beach. I'm not walking over to you. I'm taking my time walking to you, Miss Bitch. You don't control me. Look at me. Look at me. This is the height difference between me and people in chat. I'm the taller one. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were like established as that person. Well, that makes sense why I thought it was only men. Because I always chose the girl. How do you actually spell, like, pronounce her name? It's not pneumonia. Nemona. Huh. It would seem as though FIB over here would be better. Again, I guess the character customization was just bad. Whatever. Not bad, neighbor. She just gave me 300 bucks. Thanks, girl. Thank you. I wish I could beat the shit out of someone IRL and then give me 300 bucks. Well, you could, but that would be illegal. She's too nice. Yeah, do you remember when like Animal Crossing villagers were like, fuck you, I hate living here. Like, I want them to be mad, like angry and mean again. Okay, honestly, like too much talking. Stop talking. Right? Yeah, I agree. Gary was like a BICTH. This guy literally looks like my rabbi. Like, he literally looks like my old rabbi when I went to Hebrew school. I don't need you to teach me anything. Why does she stop? Like, she's so... I'm just, like, finding an issue with her. Like, don't fucking breathe near me, you disgusting roach. Wait, that's so cute. Wait, this Pokédex is really cute. Oh! Wait, that's so cute. I love that. Wait, that's cute as fuck. Work. Taxi? Oh, wow. Oh my, what the? Bitch! This map is huge! Oh my god! This is post-game. Oh my god, this is huge! Girl. Oh, we getting some good streams out of this. I wonder how the multiplayer, like, affects the game. Yeah, pneumonia's taking me to school, girl. Can I change my height? Like, I want to be taller than this bitch. Now she's trying to get with your mom? Yeah, sick. Oh my god, I keep forgetting I have band-aids on this arm, so I don't want to like expose it. I think I'm good. It's not on my shoulder. She gave me a sandwich? Is it a bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel from Dunkin' Donuts? I would love to see it. When I do an all-nighter and start doing a 24-hour stream, what then? I'm kidding. Please don't think I'm doing that. Ah! Sorry. Something in my throat. Listen, bitch, I'm coming. I want to get away from her. I don't like her. Guys, I don't like her energy. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm like gagged actually. Hi, Monster Cat. Happy to see you. Thank you so much for telling me where we are. Can I skip? Oh my god, is that a what's her name? Oh my god, wait. Is that a new Pokemon? Who is that? Who is that? That is a new Pokemon. What is that? I thought that was that one Pokemon, Eldegoss. Okay, I'm that girl. I don't want to catch one. Don't make me catch one. No, 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 no. I don't catch ugly Pokemon. No, no, no. That's no, 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 no. I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not that girl. I'm not catching it. I'm not catching it. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna fucking murder it. Don't shake your dumpy at me. Yeah, I don't. I don't. I go by... You think... So, you're gonna tell me if I walked up on you IRL, do you expect me to pull out a Lechonk? What do you expect me to pull out? You think I'm gonna pull out this fucking pig bitch? No, you don't get to be sarcastic. You're not allowed. Wait, that's so cute though! The Pokédex? I literally will never complete a Pokédex. Like, if you actually think I'm going to, you're actually hilarious. All right, let's do something. Yeah, isn't there like, there's like a bunch of, get out of here. Like literally be gone from my sight. Sorry, I'm being so harsh to this Pokemon. I go by aesthetics. I go by, I want pink and green Pokemon and that's it. And then my starter. That's it. I catch the cute bitches. Hop it! 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 Oh my god, you get them so early. Oh my god, I'm gonna shit my pants. I have been waiting for Hoppip to be in a Pokemon game so long. I love Hoppip so fucking much. My baby, my baby. I'll catch another one. Oh wow, my audio. I just want to take everyone's attentions to my tags. I think one of my tags is no backseating. Just for reference. I'm catching 3 because I want 3 different. Why did it not let me name it? Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't like that it keeps the name. Just delete it. Who cares? Oh, wait. No! Fuck. Get away from me, LeChonk. What is this Pokemon? What is that? Oh, it's kind of cute. Oh, it's kind of cute. I do want to catch them for the Pokédex. I actually really like the Pokédex in this game. It's really cute. Oh, wait. Hi, buddy. The problem is that if I get Fuehiko's literally gonna like insta-kill anything. That's the problem with doing a fire starter with like wild Pokemon. So I literally feel like I'm gonna like kill everything. I want to get as much of the Pokédex done I can, actually. It's really cute. Like, I love like the book pages. Like, it's really cute. I like it. I don't know if I'll get the full thing, but... Like, that's so cute! Like, little books for all the Pokemon? How adorable is that? I'm gonna get this guy. My headphone cord is so busted, girl. Oh, I know Marshall was plucked to find this on the Route 1. The Tarantula Pokemon. Oh, I know you were plucked. Oh, it is cute though. Look at it. It's just a little guy. Oh. I actually hadn't seen that before. Like, I haven't seen any of the leaks. Oh, these girl bosses? All my Pokemon being girl bosses? I'm gonna cry when I see Slowpoke, like, actually. Can you sneak up on them like you can in Arceus? Who? Marshall. Oh, Shinx is. I didn't know Shinx was in this game. I'm surprised they did that because Shinx was like very early in Arceus. Oh, gagged me. All right, can I please nickname it and not mess it up? Fart baby. My little fart baby. Oh, this is cute. Who are you? You're so cute. Palmy. Oh. Oh, work. So cute. Oh, that is a really cute Pokemon. Look at it. Oh my god, they're so cute. Ah. I'm obsessed. I just can't when people complain about Pokemon games when they come out. Like, I'm literally like in awe and like just like consuming every inch of the game. I'm like, I love it. Yeah, can you fuck off, lady? The fuck? Ethan, thank you for the follow. Huh? I was trying to go towards the cry. Sorry, I'll look out. Oh, let me jump off the cliff. Oh my god, it's like hurt. Never mind, if it's gonna be mean, then fuck you. I thought it was hurt, and now it's being nasty. Bitch, did I just fall? Oh wow. That would have killed any other person. Just saying. And this is how... like, we literally turned this bitch into a bike. Like, I can't. Not the yaoi fingers. Like, what is happening? Gia gun? Yeah, Eva. It's like the phone. Oh, I don't like how it stands up. No standing up. You stay on your legs. Can we calm down? You had a sandwich, bro. When I have a sandwich and grow a mohawk and get crazy. Yeah, not a single thank you. Yeah, it was a bacon, egg, and cheese. And some Dunkin' Donuts hash browns on the side. Hey, Flop. Experience nothingness. What the? Hey, girl. What if I was like, yeah, I broke my fucking leg? She's like, okay, die. I like the music in here. Oh, it's the wolves that were bugging him earlier. Can I seriously not hit the... I can't hit the whip. Ew, not the young goose. Ew, get them away. Sun and moon flashbacks. Get those fuckers away from me. Hi, Tiglet. All this green stuff. I know someone's gonna pick this up and smoke it. Squad. Oh my god, relax, guys. That was so cute. All the puppies. The future. I'm all up in this thing's business. Can you go? How powerful even is it? I fucking wonder. Look out, something's coming. IDGAF, like I literally would solo anything with my level 8 Pokemon. What? What's up? I'll fight you. Bro, I'll literally end you. Bro, I will literally end you. Yuhiko solos. Oh, wow. Okay, the cinematics so far are kind of cut. Like, they're really good. Like, it makes it feel more alive than just like dialogue text. You know what I mean? Work. Yeah, I literally gave him a sandwich and he's like, I will protect you for the rest of your life. And I'm like, damn right. That's what I should do for like men. I'll make them one sandwich or I'll make them one meal and then they'll be like, I am eternally grateful. I will never do anything to harm you, madame. Love you so much, Miss Nemesis. Well, no shit. It just literally, like, did a lot of work. I hate this bitch. I didn't even have to tell it what to do. It just did it itself. Let's exchange numbers. I would never give this bitch my number. You can stay out of my DMs. I want to get to that main town, but I'm probably not gonna get there for. I just want to explore. Like I want to run around and see the Pokemon. Take me back. Oh, we get to slide. That's fun. Good night. Wait, was that we were supposed to do that? Okay. Who dat? Oh, it's this guy everybody thinks is hot. Ooh. Good night, Marshall. Oh, wow. This wig? Not I fell off a cliff. True. I mean, I did. I love the music. I don't know how I feel about the UI, but we'll cross that road when we get there. Oh, that's all you got? You got one Pokemon? I guess he kind of looks like that Pokemon too, like his hair. Excuse me. No, literally. Like, okay. I don't like that we're all wearing the same outfit. I don't know. Oh. A lag. Let's go! Providence, Rhode Island. That's our school. This is giving every anime opening ever. They're like, yep, we're going to school together. Like Soul Eater, Blue Exorcist, Little Witch Academia, Madoka Magica. They love that trope in anime. We're going to school together, and then something terrible happens. They're like, we have to work together as a class. I love the gas stations for Pokemon centers now. It's kind of funny. Oh, Pikapack. Oh my god, I love the soundtrack. Psyduck! Oh, it's so cute! It's waving at us. What's that noise? They're like fighting each other. That's so cute. Oh my god, listen to the music. I'm bopping. Bazonga's the Fuhiko. He's got big bazongas. Hi, Chris. Happy to see you. I love this music. I'm getting crazy. It's like Rayman music. I love it. Slay. I'm not gonna keep Psyduck in my party, I do have to say, but I just wanted to get the little entry. I love the little books. I love the... You shut up. Can you not just do this? Watch me troll them. There's no you. Oh, wow. Oh. I'm literally about to just... Easy. Oh my god, the picture is so cute. The silly duck. Everybody seems to love him. Oh, Asmara! Oh my god, she's so early in the game. Stan. Is that a chat tot back there? Damn. Okay, variety. No, stop using water gun. I'm gonna catch you. When I catch you. Girl, I'm gonna get your ass. I know, I love that there's so many cute babies early. I got Hoppip, I'm very happy about it. I could probably just catch it, it's fine. Girl, please. I love it. Oh, yay. Hi, Cammy. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You like to give a... Yeah, I would. Yes, Miss Bitch. Oh my god, is the Psyduck swimming? How cute is that? Oh, the Whoopers! Look, the Whoopers are swimming. Oh my god, is that Happini? No, it's Igglybuff. Oh. Well, I'm gonna fucking die, so... It's Iggy Iggs. Defense curl. Oh, Miss Thing wants to fight. Look at Psyduck in the back swimming. He's so cute. Not copycat. She's gonna end my team. She's literally gonna destroy us. Get gagged. Can you stop? I don't find this very... I don't think you're very funny. I don't think you're funny. I have no... Oh, I do have push-ups. Oh, so cute. I'm gonna get a Whooper so I can get the Pokédex entry. I didn't think I was gonna do this, but I'm really liking the vibe of this. Like, I'm just I'm excited to like take my time and enjoy this. Like, there's no rush at all. And I'm like enjoying seeing all these different Pokemon, and like, I want to fill out the decks. I really do. I love the pages thing they did. Like, I'm obsessed. It's like collecting comic books of Pokemon. It's cute as fuck. I love it. The Fido behind me, did you see that? That thing was just standing there. Bro was chilling. I know. Look, it's so cute! I love it! Okay, can we get in the water? Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, bitch, I drowned. Can we attract a Wooper over to us? Hey, Wooper. Hey, over here. Get away from me. Oh! Oh, we got the jackpot, baby. Exactly, exactly. Queen is, this is mother. Mother of mothers. Don't crit, please. Where's my headphone jack? I don't even know what to do because my party's already almost full and I want to keep everyone in my party the entire game. I'm like, fuck. Uh-oh. Wait, I want to do like mother, like in all different text. Like, I want it to be intimidating when she comes out. Is there no M? Oh no, damn it. I want it to look like an alternate name. Like corruption. Why not? Why not? Why not? No fun allowed for me. Why can't I? Stop. You guys are making it so unfun. Oh, can we do a different language? Wait, that might work. What? Wait, what if I did this? Oh my god. Oh my god, we can do a backwards R. Wait, that's perfect. My audio keeps cutting out. Like, it's really pissing me off. Need new headphones. Okay, so we need an O. I think we can go to the symbols for that. Do O here. Wasn't there like a O with a, yeah, this dash in the middle of it? Need a T. I wonder why it wasn't letting us use that. Why? Oh, wait. No, it's not gonna work. If it didn't let us use it in that language, I don't understand. What if I did... all this effort for this? And it's probably not even gonna work. I pray. Off, dude. Wait, there's this. Fuck off. We're so close, I feel. So close. They're not like a... There's not just like an H. Perfect. She's mother. Hi. Oh, here's a Wooper. Oh my god, my legs. I always sit crisscross and then I complain that my legs hurt. I'm gonna run out of Pokeballs, actually. I'm glad the game starts with an EXP share nowadays, because I couldn't imagine doing this shit like I used to do. Like, I'm good. Like, I'll literally pass. That picture is so cute. I want to get this Fido. This might kill it, but whatever. No, we're good. Oh. You can back it up a little bit. The way Pokemon will just like be behind you, it's so funny to me. So cute. I literally thought that was a shiny. I was like, excuse me? I'm exploring. Fuck the main story. What's that? Oh. Happy adventuring. Like, that is so cute to me. I love these little pictures. Oh, this makes it so hard to like not collect all of them. Are you kidding? That's adorable. Like, shut up. Oh, it's in the tree. So cute. Hop it. Oh, what? Oh my god, the side duck's sleeping. Oh, wow. We're not even like 3 hours in and I'm like obsessed. Just like that feature to me is like so cool. For me, para me. I think that's what I'm gonna spend my time doing while I play tomorrow, like in my room. Oh my god, enjoy your sleepies. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to this spot and then I'm gonna call it. But I will be streaming on Saturday. What is that? Oh my god. I don't want this to kill it. Damn it. I wanted to catch it. Damn it. Okay, we'll find another one. Hello. I love the way this looks. I will say it is kind of sad that we don't have the OG Pokemon Center, but I like the way this looks. He's cute. Cute. LP. Huh. Pressing R is a quick way to tell you your lead Pokemon. Alright, buddy, let's go. Once you go ahead, your Pokemon will set out on its own battle near Pokemon and pick up battles in the area. If your Pokemon is low on energy, which means its HP is low, it will go on exploring on its own. So if your Pokemon gets weak, try to heal it up. Auto Battle is when it autos on its own, meaning that you will have to keep searching the area and discovery for others nearby it. Auto battles are decided by strength. Cute, cute. Cute. When you're feeling lost, when you don't know where to go next, you can ask at the Pokemon Center. Oh my god! I love that! So you're not stuck anymore. Oh, cute! How do I call him to come back? Come back. I'm loving every little tidbit so far, Wolframs. We are just starting and I'm loving it. Oh my god, yay! I want to take a picture. Oh my god, how cute! Oh, you can do little faces! Oh my god. That is adorable. I'm loving it so far, guys. Can I get my Fuehiko to like stay still though? Oh my god, he's... Oh! I love the sad face. That's so real. Like, I do that face IRL. Wait, get up, Fuehiko. Get up. Wake up. Oh, I love that you can do it like a real camera. Fuehiko, can you wake up? I want to take a picture together. Please, buddy. Oh, he's too low. Stop falling asleep! Oh, there's emotes. Oh my god, how cute. He keeps falling asleep. Stop. I know, I love him, Fuehiko. Where is he? I can't get him in the picture. Ugh. He's being so difficult. I love you, but please. No! Oh my god. No, you're not supposed to fall asleep. Oh my god. How do you make him go back into his ball? I'm gonna get this. Now he's too close. No, what? I literally, how do you get the thing away? Okay. Yumiko, please! Okay, I think I got one. That's all I care about. Perfect. That is so old. Well, and with that, I am going to call it a night. Fantasy hi, Grin hi, thank you all for being here, but I am gonna call it a night. I did get blood drawn today, so I don't know how I went for this long. Like, I need to go get some rest. But I will be live again on Saturday. Thank you all for being here. But yeah, I'm gonna take tomorrow off and like just enjoy the day. There's wrestling, there's Canada versus the world, there's Pokemon to be played. And yeah, I'll be back on Saturday. Just gonna actually gonna style my hair all pretty for Saturday, so we'll be there. But I'll see you guys then. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you're joining the Discord or following all my socials that aren't Twitter, just because Twitter is going through it at the moment. But I will see you guys in the Discord and everything else. So I'll see you guys later. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging.